Hey, it's me again. I'm all done up this time. um, I figured that I would do a video about stretched ears, stretching your ears, like common questions about stretched ears, all that good stuff. And of course, the common confusion when people say, I love your gauges, or I'm gauging my ears, it's stretching, not gauging. And these are spiral tapers, they're not gauges. These are plugs, not gauges, like all that. So, first of all, when you are stretching your ears to a bigger size, you're not gauging them, you're stretching them. And all the different jewelry has its own name. They are not gauges. Like I said, spiral tapers, plugs, these are triangle tunnels, these are silicone triangles, and then you can get regular tunnels, you can get double-layered steel, you can get saddled wood plugs. I mean, there's all kinds of different plugs you can get, and tunnels, and tapers. You can get straight tapers. I don't have any right now because people are borrowing them. But those are all the jewelry. They're not, ooh, look at these gauges. Look at these gauges. Look at these gauges. No. And then the sizes. People get confused about the sizes before they start, or if people ask you about them. The bigger the number, the smaller the bigger the number, the smaller the size. So 14, really small. 00, pretty big. 0, still big, not as big as 00. Oh, that's like my 0 and my 00 compared, big difference. So, and I've also got a whole bunch of stuff here, like I said, my plugs. I've got some glow-in-the-dark plugs that are like patterns peeling off. They were crosses, but the cross was peeled off. And they're all sticky because I started doing the tape stretching past 00, and then I decided I just wanted to stay at 00. So now these are all sticky from the tape, so I don't use these ones right now anymore. My ones that I wear all the time, my rainbow plugs, they're my favorite little buddies. I'm retiring them for a while because I just got my Hot Topic order today. So I have my little wood plugs. I can find the package. Here we go. These are Urban Star Natural Body Jewelry, and these specific ones that I bought are jackfruit wood, but they're nice, you know. So pretty much, and then also like some tips for stretching. One thing you definitely want to do, you have to think of your ear as a butthole. You're not going to shove anything bigger than that hole in there when it's dry. Like, I mean, if it's already stretched, slip it in there. But if you're going up, definitely don't put anything in dry. Like, if you're going from a 2 to a 0, you're not just going to stick this into a dry ear. That's like putting a great big wiener in a dry butthole, and that's not going to do good. So, the thing that I found best is bag balm. It's this like kind of goopy stuff. Now this might surprise you, but I'm from a farming town, and bag balm is used to put on cow titties to make sure that, like, you know, they don't get chapped from being milked so much and all that good stuff, you know. So you just slap that stuff on your ears, and it works so good. And if you rip your ears, I ripped this ear really bad. It was disgusting. And all I did was I like just kept my jewelry in, like I took the jewelry out, rubbed some bag balm, like massaged it in, and then put my jewelry back in and just let it go. And I just kept doing that. And it was like magic. Like, it fixed it right away. No problems. So bag balm, definitely a must. Or Vaseline works pretty good. But since bag balm is made to help with open wounds, it's really good. And it actually doesn't smell bad. Like, it smells kind of good. And then definitely for like cleaning your plugs and tunnels and tapers and all that, One of my favorite thing to use before I ran out of it was Clear's ear care solution that they give you when you first get your ears pierced. And we had a few bottles because my mom's got a ton of piercings that she got done at Claire's. But I used the last of it cleaning because, I mean, I've got... Let me just show you. This is just my 000 collection. I mean, like, I clean all these. Well, I mean, I don't really clean the 00s anymore because I don't wear them. They just sit around. But, like, I keep all my 00s clean at all times in case I just want to wear ones. So it does kind of drain your resources. But if you run out of Claire's ear care stuff if you use it, hydrogen peroxide works really good. Like, it'll make your fingers and your jewelry and your ears kind of smell funny, but you'll be so clean. You just wash your hands and keep people away from your ears. It works. It works so good. Keeps your ears so clean. Like, my ears are pretty healthy for as fast as I've stretched and everything. Like, I haven't even been stretching for a year now, my 00, which I guess isn't too fast, but like I said, I ripped my ear really bad when I went from 0 to 00. Like, went from these little things to these in like a week. Like, I put these in from my 2s, and then like a week later I started putting these in, and that was like the worst idea. No, I gotta pick up the thing I dropped. The thing that really ripped my ear wasn't necessarily the stretching, because I was going really steady. But then as soon as it was stretched enough, I hurried and put these in, you know, take off the O-ring, shove them in your ear, hurry up, and put the O-ring back on, you know, the normal thing. And that was fine. My ears didn't bleed, didn't rip, nothing. But then I went out and I bought these really cheap tunnels. And I was so anxious. I'd only had my plugs in for like a day or two. And I decided, you know what, it's totally safe to put in these tunnels. So I take out the plugs, and I'm desperately trying to put in these tunnels. And, you know, when you're stretching, the first like week or two, it's still fresh, and you can rip that right open. And I started bleeding. It was nasty, but I got them in, and then I could not get them out for almost a month. Worst idea ever. Do not put in like hard silicone tunnels. Like, these are kind of hard for silicone tunnels. Like, don't put in any kind of tunnels or anything when you're just stretching, especially not silicone, because it's so bad on your ears. Now, this is so embarrassing. I hate when people see my naked ears because, ow. Oh, felt weird. I've never used wood plugs before, but they're kind of triangular a little bit. Like, you can't notice, like, right when I take out my jewelry, but if I wear my tunnels, you can definitely see, like, you can see a little now that I've, like, rubbed it a little bit, but my earlobe's slightly triangular shaped, like my hole. And these I just got in today. I ordered them online. They're my jackfruit wood plugs, and they're so cute. And then O-rings. You have to be really careful. Like, if you're getting jewelry that comes with O-rings, if the O-rings are already on the jewelry, try and make sure that they fit. Because I got these O-rings, came with these plugs, and see, if you put it on, it's like really, I don't know if you can exactly tell, but it's kind of loose, and it doesn't really look like it fits, because it doesn't. They're too big. These O-rings are too big. They just fell right off. Like, I would wear those plugs with the O-rings that came with them, and I'll just walk around, boop, there goes my O-ring, and I'd have to hurry up, scramble around, find it, you know. So you just have to be really careful. You have to make sure that your O-rings are right. And, like, just, it doesn't exactly piss me off, but it's kind of annoying when people are like, oh, those are such cool gauges. And my friend who started stretching her ears, she's like, oh my gosh, I can't find my 1 gauges. And I'm like, shut up. Like, you're making yourself sound so stupid. It's like, oh, it's basically saying I can't find my sizes. Like, that's what you say when you can't find the right size of pants at a store. I can't find my size. You don't say that when you're, Like, if you can't find a certain pair of jeans, you don't say, I can't find my sizes. You say, I can't find these jeans. Like, that's the same thing with these. Like, you don't say, oh, I'm missing my gauges. You say, I'm missing my blue spiral tapers. I mean, it's not that hard of a concept. Because, I mean, saying gauge is kind of, I don't really want to say ignorant, but for lack of a better word, I'll say ignorant. And then you get those people who will come up and like, oh, I like your gauges. Those kind of people is just, you don't, those kind of people I just kind of blow off and ignore. You know, I just sort of, whatever. And it's like, if I want to compliment someone's ears, I'll say whatever they have in, like, hey, I like your plugs. Hey, I like your tunnels. You know, like, and if you want to come up, you see, like, you can't really tell because mine are pretty small still. But if you see that my ears are stretched, you want to come up and compliment them, go right ahead. But don't come up to say, hey, I like your gauges. Because 9 times out of 10, I will say, oh, thanks, and walk away. If you say, hey, I like your plugs, what size are you at? That's so cool. Like, I'll probably sit and talk to you for a minute, but you say, I like your gauges. And that's what happens, that's what's going to happen with a lot of people who have stretched ears. You come up to them, or if you say, your gauged ears are so cool, or, oh my god, you have your ears gauged. Most of the time, if we know that that's not what you're supposed to say, we will probably either correct you or ignore you or something, because it's kind of annoying. And my mom doesn't even say gauge. She's like, oh wow, you're wearing different plugs, or oh wow, you're stretching your ears. Like, my parents don't even say that. My parents don't even call them gauges. I mean, that's pretty bad. But, I mean, all you really need to know is you need to take care of your earlobe like it's a tender butthole. Like, you gotta think of it like butt sex. You're not just gonna shove something in there that's too big when it's dry, and you need to take your time. You need to ease it in, and when it's ready, it's not gonna hurt, and it'll be all good, and it'll just go. So, this is all you need to know. If you need me to add something to the description, just comment or something, or I'll just respond to you and answer any questions. And I'll add, like I'll put in a link in the description that'll be a link to a gauge chart, which I literally mean size. It will send you to a chart that shows you like which gauge is like how many. I believe 00 gauge, which, you know, this right here. I believe this is 3/8 of an inch, but I think I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, and if you don't want to listen to me because I'm just at the little 00s, that's perfectly fine. I wouldn't blame you. Like, go find someone who has like big 2-inch plugs, tunnels, whatever. Go listen to what they have to say. But if this is just something you found really quick, then go ahead and take my advice, because I know it's right. It's worked for me. A lot of people will say that it's perfectly okay to skip sizes, and it can be, but I don't recommend it. And if you are skipping sizes, don't do it dry. Make sure you have a lot of lubrication. Because it's okay to go from like your regular earrings to like a 14. That's what I did. I just stuck it right in. Didn't feel anything. Nothing. Because it's like no difference. So that's not a big deal. Maybe even a 12. I've had friends who've gone to 12. But I don't recommend it. But I'm just saying, you're probably not going to hurt yourself doing that. But now I jumped from 14 to 8, but I waited like a month and a half, so my ears were pretty well stretched, and then I just slowly, it took like 24 hours to get the whole spirals, because I always buy spirals, because they stay in nicer than straight tapers, and they look cooler, so it's like, it actually looks kind of nice if you've got a big spiral in rather than just this big spike. So, and like, just try your hardest to avoid skipping sizes. Like, I skipped from regular earrings to 14s, and then from 14s to 8s, and after that I went through every step. 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, 0, 0. I did every step after that. You just skip as little times as possible. Maybe go from like 14 to 10. I wouldn't go from 14 to 8. It hurt really bad. Like, didn't necessarily hurt, it just stung really bad, which is different from like a horrible pain. Your ear might sting a little bit stretching, like a little bit, like it's a little warm. But if that hurts, take it out and wait a week or two. Just, please, the last thing I want is for any of you to hurt yourselves trying to stretch your ears. It looks cool and all, but you gotta be patient. Cause, like, just to get to this has been almost a whole year. I started, like, mid-January of this past year, and now it's almost the new year, and I'm at 00. So, take your time. Cause just for, like, 11 months, I've gotten to 00, and I ripped my ear, and it's nasty. So, please be careful. And if, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. And so, happy stretching.